We're visiting with Rossano Sportiello, one of the great young piano players from Italy, who has now played in the States and with the Statesmen, and has been one of my favorite musicians on the piano, following in the footsteps of his role model and my good friend, the late Ralph Sutton. Rossano, welcome to I Love Jazz.
Thank you very much. And as we say in Italy, ciao.
Ciao. I was there when you appeared at the first jazz concert at one of the March of Jazz parties when Dan Barrett brought you over from Italy.
That's right.
And I fell in love with your playing then, and I've collected everything audio and video wise that I can of Rossano Sportiello. So you have lots of fans here in this country.
Well, I'm happy for that, you see, because really my career improved a lot since I came here for the first time. Since Dan Barrett told everybody, you know, this guy can play. Sometimes you need that, otherwise they won't pay attention, you know. So, and since then, you see, sometimes the events of your life seem to be connected. So you get somewhere, you do a little thing, people like you, and then from that little concert or that festival that you played, something else happens. And I even met my wife in the States, and eventually I got married. So you sometimes things that you would never expect can happen, you know.
Well, I wouldn't want to put you into any category because you play so many different styles of music. I happen to love your stride piano in the style of the late Ralph Sutton, but I also love your classical music done in a jazz sort of way.
And I thank you very much for this because I really hate categories. Do you say categories in English? Mm-hmm. You know, because sometimes people, they love to give you a label, and then for all your life you've got that label and you cannot do anything else. In my case, I really grew up listening to lots of different things, like jazz, of course, classical music. I've got a degree in classical piano from the conservatory in Italy, you know, and even more modern jazz like the bebop. So I make sure that every time I play a concert or I do a recording, all these different styles or all these different, how can I say, way to play can be there. You know, the classical, the jazz, the stride, the bebop, the swing, you know, it's just music, beautiful music. So let's play it all.
And you play it so beautifully. You've recorded a number of albums, CDs, lately with Nicky Perrott from Australia, one of our fellow statesmen of jazz.
That's
and
right.
The two of you have really hit it off both musically and vocally. You've even done a little vocalese yourself.
Well, I have to be honest with this. I'm terrible as a singer. I mean, I can sing, but you see, when we did the first recording, we just wanted to joke a little bit, so we did this track, and I sang a little part, and then Matt Domber liked it, and they put it on the CD, and I didn't want to. And the same thing happened with the second CD that just came out, you know. We said, oh, let's try to do something. We don't have to put it on the CD. But then once you do it, you can be sure that they are gonna trick you, you know.
So now do you spend most of your time in the States, or do you spend still a good deal of time back home in Italy?
Well, I established myself in New York about 2 years ago. I got married with a beautiful lady that was living in New York, that I met in New York, Lala. And we got married in October 2007. So it's gonna be 2 years next October. So I like to tell people that I live in New York, even though I really travel a lot and I go to Europe maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year.
And you have played often both in Europe as well as in the States.
That's right.
What's next for you? What projects do you have coming up?
Well, my project is very easy and simple. It's just I want to try to do better and better what I'm already doing. you know, the kind of music that I like to play. I am never tired to practice and try to do it better. So that's my goal.
Well, you're very young to be considered a statesman, but you are already establishing yourself as a legend in jazz. Thank you so much for the wonderful music you play and for giving us some of your time so that we could have this interview.
It's a pleasure, and I thank you very much for the space that you give me. Thank you.
Thank you, Rossano.
Thank you.